What up, Dogueros, and welcome back to the Dogo Verdaderos podcast. The podcast is dedicated to the true, authentic form of the Dogo Argentino dog. Today we have episode 6 in our finale of the Dogo Roundtable, which will be focusing on the Doguero Pachanga, a yearly event here in the U.S. Well, next we're going to go to Cheri. Cheri is the creator and the coordinator of the Doguero Pachanga. She's also done several other Dogo Argentino-related educational events, different webinars, and I've really been a fan of some of her work lately. You can tell she's very passionate about the breed, whether she has 20 dogs, one dog, 5 dogs. You can just really feel that she really cares about the direction of the breed and having the best of the best dogos. So I think it was really important to have her here so she can not only introduce her event, but also give her perspective and her journey on the dogos as well. So Cheri, go ahead. I'll let you talk a little bit about it as well.
I initially started off not hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I initially started off just having like pet dogs around. Went to school to be a veterinary technician for like 5 years with trade schools and stuff. So I'd learn about dog breeds, cattle, livestock, all that other stuff that comes with schooling. And then one day I was sitting on the couch watching the Dog Whisperer of all the things, not the not the Animal Planet. I didn't see him from the Animal Planet one. I saw him from the Dog Whisperer one. Seeing this just majestic big dog that was just like super aggressive and like never seen. I was like, what kind of dog is that? And they said what the name was. I said, I guess I've never heard of that breed before. And as I tell you, like I'm in school, so like we're learning about like all the breeds and whatnot. And so I went down a rabbit hole, started searching, started like just trying to find out what it was because I was so fascinated by it. Found found a breeder because I used to live in California. Found a breeder in California, San Diego, where I'm from, like 10 minutes away from me. I was like, oh, this is meant to be. So I went over there, looked at the dogs, and then decided to get one. But at that time, didn't really know much about the breed. So I was like, oh, that's a cute dog. Ended up getting the most imperfect dogo. Blue eyes, unilat, overbite. His name was Hunter. Brought him home. 6 months later, was just never seen the personality or just the demeanor of a dog, just so confident and just so like just a great breed in general. I've had pit bulls growing up, not game bred pit bulls, just pet style pit bulls that were like family dogs. So I ended up getting Hunter. 6 months later, I said, this is the breed for me. I'm gonna get another one. So this time, instead of going to like a sort of like backyard breeder type thing, did more research, found a breeder out in Arizona. He sent me pictures, videos, all that good stuff, dogs and whatnot. Drove down there from Los Angeles down to like met him like halfway in Arizona. Picked her up. Her name was Rebel. Brought her back. But from there on, had the two dogos together with my little mutt black shepherd coda that I had at the time. Had multiple dogs coming in within that time period, so always had minimum like three dogs at one point. Had like 5 at one point, but yeah, dogos always go along with all the other dogs. I want to say, was it 2019? Got involved with really wanting to see what Rebel could do. So I went out to DACA, participated in that, then got to actually get her experience with hogs at Mr. Mason's. Pulled up to Mr. Mason, met Mr. Mason, got her out, had her leashed up, whatnot. Went over to where the hogs were, and instinctively, just as soon as she saw the hog, wanted the hog, screaming, yelping, barking, just wanting to get at it. And Mr. Mason said, she wants it. I'm impressed by her. He said, a lot of people bring their dogs here, but he said, even though she's into wanting to get the hogs, you have full control of her, and she wants. You said, go ahead, let her loose. So let her loose. She got the hog, and then I said, you have any bigger hogs? He said, yeah. So we brought her over to where the bigger hogs were, which is like this little pasture he's got out there. Let her loose in the pasture, and I just let her loose. She's not gonna go anywhere. It's so she had a GPS tracker on and everything, and it's controlled environment. So I just let her loose. And I think we were all sitting in the middle because Mr. Mason would tell us, he said, yeah, we've got two ponds on the outside, and the hogs are either going to go on this side or on the other side. So he said initially, dogs usually end up right back in the center. So he said, just sit here. He said, otherwise you should be chasing the dog all around. He said, sit here and listen to it. And then we heard some brush crackling. Sure enough, she was in the brush catching the hog. And so
Nice.
that was like her first experience ever seeing a hog. And so completely impressed. Got her off. He said, let the hog loose. I said, again? He said, yeah, do it again. And so we let the hog loose, held her for a second, and then let her loose again. This time the hog was in the pond. She took off like a rocket, jumped off the ledge of the thing into the water, and swam like a missile to the hog. So I was
Nice.
like super impressed by that because that's how you know that they really want it. Like you jump into the water and swim after the hog to go get it. That's what I was like. From there on, I never went back. I said, you have the natural bred instincts to our natural born instincts to go out there and like hunt hogs like you want it. I can't as a dog person not let you do what you instinctively know how to do. And so, like I said, he was always a pet dog, laid around on the couch, just A1 temperament. I could take her anywhere to PetSmart, Home Depot, out walking. I can leave her at people's houses. I can take her anywhere, and she just lay around, not be bothered by anything. Good around kids, people, environments, other dogs. Just best dog I ever had. Kind of like how Tiffany is. Tiffany's dog. We used to, like a great like all around dog. You think like, oh, this is like how they're all supposed to be. And so, yeah, our first dog is kind of like catfished us. So, and so it's like they're all supposed to be like this. We'll bring it on. So, yeah. So I would drive like at least twice a year from California out to either Texas or Oklahoma. And I would drive 19 hours to Texas, or it'd be 22 to 23 hours to go out to Oklahoma. And that's one way. And this will be like a complete turnaround trip. So I drive, leave in the morning, about 2 in the morning, get to like Ryan Jones's house out in Oklahoma at like 6 in the morning, hop out the car, hop into his truck, and then follow his buddies out to go hunting. And so always try to instill like getting her on something, letting her natural instincts take place. But it's kind of hard because living in California or a place where,
Yeah.
and it's like Southern California where it's not northern, it's Southern. And so it's like you can't really get on hogs. So I'm like, I will make the time, the effort to take you where you need to go to get you on something that you instinctively know that you want to be on. And so let's say she was 4 when she started. So I got her in 2013, went to DAG in 2019. So she was 4 when I started introducing her. And then at around 6 is when I decided, okay, I want to breed you. So I bred her to a male that worked as well. Got her later out of that. And then right around that time, COVID was hitting. And so everyone's just sitting around not doing anything really because we're all confined inside. And so I said, let's do something. Like I want to get something going. And so I had a friend at the time where we decided we were going to do like a webinar series. So I was like, let's do something. And so I reached out to a couple of like enthusiast hunters, people that been the breed, like Elsa, Daniel, just a whole bunch of people for the first webinar, and got that going. And then I was interviewing Elsa, and Elsa did her presentation. And at the end of her presentation, she had a photo of a hunting competition out in France, like some years ago when it was legal to do it in France. It was like 20, 30 people there. I was like, what is that? She explained to me what it was. She said it was a competition that she held on her property. And then after that interview was over, I got off. I was just like dumbfounded because I never heard like any like dog hunting competition before. And I know it's like a popular thing, like to do like the hog hunting thing, like after the fact. I know it's like a popular thing to do like the hog hunting thing and you go out and do competitions like that. But one that was specifically for like a breed of dog. And so got off that interview and I said, you know what? I got a crazy idea. Might not work, but it's a crazy idea. And so I was talking to Daniel, the host, about it. And that's how actually the name Pachanga came about, because Daniel did a whole bunch of dog hunting competitions with his buddies back in the day. And he said, I did one that was called the South Texas Pachanga. I said, Pachanga? I said, what the fuck is that? That sounds like some ratchet shit. He was like, nah, he said it's like a battle or something like that. He was like, and then I looked it
In
up.
Spanish, it does translate to like a crazy ass event.
Yeah, yeah. And so I said Pachanga. I kept throwing that word around, Pachanga. I said it's fun to say. You know, say, and then people look it up, like think about it. They don't look it up to see what it is because they don't know what it is either. And then and I was like, don't put no camera in front of it. And then it'd be like, because like the Pachanga part meant like a rowdy party or whatever. And so I was like, Doguero Pachanga. I was like, yeah, put it together. It sounds good. And so I put the idea out there, based off of the interview with Elsa. And so I was like, if she can do it out there, why can't we do it out here where there's like plenty of opportunity for you to be able to do it? And you just need the interest. I said, hey, it works out, it's cool. If you don't, at least you tried. But at least you can say you didn't try. And so the first one was kind of gay kept, but not really so much. It was just so much that it was like, um we didn't really want to like throw everything at it to where like it was like a new landowner that we had never met. It was new competition that we had never thrown. So we wanted to get all the kinks out of it so that we could see that it did work, versus like throwing everything at it, and then like, oh well, it didn't work because of this person's ass, or this person came this way, or this person is talking about this. We just wanted to be a feel good environment for everybody to come through, and it to be just about the dog, not about like, well, my dog did this, or my dog did this, or you're doing this, or you're talking shit about it. We just wanted it to just be a feel good environment. And so I got asked a couple of judges or a couple of friends that I knew that were kind of doing their own thing, but I knew that they worked their dogs hard, and I knew that they were going to judge the dog for the dog and not the people or the handlers or connections or politics or whatever. And so got together with a couple of people like that, and then here we are, going on the third year of doing the Pachanga. First year was a success. Second year was a success. And now we're going on the third one. But as far as like the Pachanga goes, it's like I'm trying to get like the stigma of what the dogo is, or like the no-goes, or like regrip, or like do that. And also to get like just the community together, because before this event happened, there was only DACA, where we would only have the one event once a year. And I remember, and people would complain, well, why don't you do regionals? Or why don't you do this? Or why don't you do that? And DACA, or not DACA, the board members, whoever it was at the time, would be like, well, none of the members are helping doing anything. No one else is putting out it. You're just solely depending on us to do these things. And so I said, okay, well, I'm a person that likes to find solutions to problems. And so, we had a not really a problem of like once a year, but we needed more events. And so I wanted to get this together, to get everybody together for like camaraderie and just education for the breed, and just to get like feel good vibes going, and to network, and to get people just to get out and doing something other than just like a show. And it wasn't anything where the working aspect of it came to play, where unless you were getting like a certificate for it. And so like, no, go in there, go get your stuff going. And like, it doesn't even have to be like, oh, I got the fastest time, like, oh, I got the biggest hog. I didn't want it to be like regular dog hunting competition where it was about the hog. We wanted it to be about the dog itself, your catching capabilities, your searching capabilities, how well you searched, how well you handled your dog, and so forth. And so that's just what the Pachanga has been so far. And so far it's been working. And I like to say, like, it's not my event, it's y'all's event. Because without any of the hunters or anybody else coming to the event, there wouldn't be an event. So I just like to say it's not really mine. I'll just organize it. And so I can't
And
really.
you got European Pachanga coming up too, right?
Yeah, I do. That's something that's new. um, I've networked with a couple of Europeans out there that do that do have the same passion as we do out here in the States. And so I've networked with a couple of them, and we're gonna get something going out there in Europe. We'll see how that goes, and it might be a thing too. So we don't
That's
know.
awesome. Taking it international.
Yeah, and I'm not really trying to make a name for myself. Not really, not at all. I'm not trying to make a name for myself or anything. I'm just solely invested
It's for the breed.
for the dog. And as you can see, I don't ever really post pictures of myself and my dogs or anything to like promote the event. I promote like the atmosphere, and so it's not
That's
about me.
good.
Like I said,
So
it's about the event.
that's good to hear, because a question that I've always gotten when I mentioned this event and the other events to a lot of people was some of the reasons why they say they can't go or why they hadn't gone or they wish they would have gone is, one, they're very nervous about the cliquey environment. Like you said about the DACA before, there was only one. There was one in one area. It was the same group of people. And for the people back then that they said they had a negative experience, so it kind of wiped them the wrong way. And they were worried that coming here, they wouldn't have a chance, or if they were just somebody that was just an enthusiast and they just wanted to enjoy it, that they wouldn't be able on the same level as the true diehard hunters. But I think based off what you're saying is, with the confirmation shows, with the hunting aspect, it's really a place for everybody there, no matter kind of where you're at. It's available, even if you don't enter, to be there and really soak up and learn. Would you agree there?
Well, even if you don't enter, we're trying to get it away from like guests coming unless you're like approved or something.
That's
Um,
smart.
because like the landowner, his name's John. Like John's great. John will work with us, and so it's like you know, and John charges like per person, and so it's like the first year I had it, people were coming that weren't supposed to come, and then you had people that were just bringing people and this and that. John was like, well, I thought you said you were only going to be like X amount of people. And now there's like
Yeah.
more than X amount of people. So are these people hunting too? Or are these people here? Like, what's going on? And he was completely cool about it. He just wanted to know, like, he was told a specific amount of people were coming and then other people were coming. And so it was just like, so he doesn't, for him as a landowner coming in, he doesn't know if it's like you're trying to stiff him or it's just like you told him 20 and there's like 40 people here. So like, who's the guest and who's hunting type deal, you know? And so we're trying to get it to where it's not really like a atmosphere where you
A
just have like
spectator
people
event.
hanging around. Like you could do the confirmation part of it and then hang around for the hunting part of it, but you just can't just show up just like hang around. Not to like gatekeep it or anything. Just it's not my rules. It's landowner rules because it does
Well,
get
it
a little.
sounds safe. So would you say it's safe to say, like, we can at least go in and get an entry level confirmation? Like, go in and at least try that. What's it going to hurt, right?
Mhm. And even
And at
if you
least
want
that.
to go, and even if you want to go into like the hunting aspect of it, just give it a try. It's not like where oh well all these people that hunt all the time or they go out and they do this for like they are hunters and I'm just like a novice or whatever. I mean, what can it hurt? Just go out there, put your dog in there. Like Garnels come, Tiffany's come. It's like just put your dog in there and see what he does. If you come out and then and you don't do anything, at least you get the opportunity to network with people, you meet people that you've never met before, or meet people that you've wanted to meet. Um, my goal is to
Yeah,
bring.
I don't, super sorry to interrupt you right now. I've got to take off here soon. Well, like now, but I just wanted to kind of throw in on what you're talking about. The first year was definitely more strict, and the second year I attended, and I want to say that the camaraderie and just meeting all those other hunters and making all those new friends. And I left there with 6 new hunting opportunities. Almost everybody I met was like, hey, you're not that far from me. If you want to come out some weekend and hunt, let's do it. So like, it is a great atmosphere. I encourage everybody to try to enter if you can. I mean, obviously there's going to be limited spaces and whatnot, but you know, if you're new, try to find somebody who's willing to pair up with you, try to find a partner. I mean, Edgardo and I did that for the Georgia event. And that was before the second Pachanga, and it was kind of our first hunting experience together. And even there, like every time I've gone out to a hunting event, the hunters are amazing. Everybody's encouraging. nobody's a dick. No, nobody's an a-hole. And it's just been great, you know, like, and like Jimmy even touched on earlier, every dog has its day. You see some really good dogs go out there and they don't catch. You see, you know, nobody knows how it's going to pan out. Everybody's egos are left at the door, and dogs are humbling. And you know, I have a good friend who always tells me, you know, it's called hunting for a reason. If we found something every time, then it wouldn't be hunting, it'd be catching, you know.
Yeah, everyone thinks just because it's a controlled environment that you're gonna go in there and it's like fish in a barrel. Oh my no, those hogs hide. It's big brush.
Oh
in
yeah,
there.
yeah. And sometimes, like Jimmy said, you get it's the luck of the draw. Sometimes you draw first and it hails on you all morning.
That's sweet.
That was
Yeah,
hail.
I've seen
I don't care what you say. But
one of
I
the
gotta
functional events I've went to, I've seen like the same way. You've seen dogs that are professionals that have done this every day, and they let the dog go, and it turned around and looked at everyone, and there were hogs was right in front of it. Or that same hog, a dog that never seen the hog before, went out and caught it. So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sure the environment and everything definitely plays a part. Every dog has their day.
Well, I wanted to say thank you, Cheri, for inviting me to come on. It was super fun to kind of chit chat and hear everybody's take on things. I have to go, but I can't wait to see everybody again. And this is great. I think the more things we can put out there to educate people, the better. So
I agree. Thank you for coming along, and hopefully we can do one just solely with yourself and a little more in depth later.
Awesome. Well, thank you for having me on, and I hope all y'all guys have a great evening.
Catch up with you. See you next time.
Bye.
See ya.
All right, Cheri, I didn't know if didn't mean to cut you off if you still had more going. When
No,
she was
that's
talking.
basically the premise of it. Like, you just want to breed a friendly environment, one that's conducive, moving the breed in a positive direction, and not so much of a hostile environment where, yes, like Jimmy said, yes, it's a competition, but at the end of the day, we're all there for the breed. So if you're coming solely to just be like, oh, I'm top dog, oh, my dog this, oh, my dog won over you, or oh, my dog whooped so and so, or I got this certificate, or whatever, then it's probably not the competition for you. We would encourage you to change your point of view if that is your point of view, and just have it be solely about the breed. But no, it's about the breed and having good networking and communication and just moving the breed forward in a positive direction.
I think at the very least, it's just something else to do with your dog, and who doesn't want to see more dogos and do something with your dogo, right? I
Exactly.
encourage
And
everybody
then
to try it out.
my premise has always been to get judges from all realms, whatever that word is, across the world, which is like us here in the States, us here, people in Argentina, because you always got to include them motherland, and then people in Europe, because Europe gets that stigma of like the dogs out there, but there are some good working dogs out there and people that are working for the advancement of the breed out there. So I thought I'd get all of us together and blend it together, and then you judge the dog for what it is, because it's three different environments of what the dog is doing, but the same premise altogether. So yeah, and then
That's
I like to
awesome.
bring in multiple judges, because like if you have one or two, whatever, it could get murky sometimes, because sometimes, yeah, if you think a judge is being unfair to you, then you have like XYZ to like back it up. So one judge can't like be the sole person of why XYZ won. It's like, okay, there's like six judges, so like unless all of them against you, then. But yeah, we try to even it out so it's fair game for everybody.
Definitely. That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, I mean, I think we've been talking for a while, y'all. It's been some great point of views. We've been able to see it from just an owner, from show people, from experienced hunters from two different countries. We got exhibitors, and I just wanted to do this to really show that there's a lot of different aspects of people that enjoy and appreciate this breed. One that we don't have here is even people who don't have dogos, because I was that person for 4 or 5 years. I really studied them. I really looked them up. I really looked at the people that bred them. I really looked at their history. But I think being able to do things like this, where we really put out the right information and just talk to each other and keep it real. That's the biggest part, just being able to keep it real about the breed. That's going to be able to make us keep going forward and making everyone else feel a little bit more comfortable in speaking and making these dogs more Dogo Verdaderos, which are true dogos. And I'm sure that's the passion and the road that we're all trying to go on. So we're probably going to wrap it up here. But if anybody else had any last words to speak on before we head out, and hopefully we'll have episode 2 coming soon. I'd like to talk to each of y'all individually and more in depth too, if that's all right.
Yeah, man. Looking forward to that.